Hello, it is Anthony. Welcome back to the channel. It's your wonderful host, and we are back with another theory video for the amazing digital circus. Okay, that was like my Kane impression. I also excuse my voice a little bit. I'm sick, so I'm a little sick right now, so my voice is gonna sound a little annoying. So today is gonna be another theory video, and the theory today I'm gonna be talking about is who were the characters like in their past lives, like before they became digital, before they went into the digital circus. Like, who were they before? And this is just my theory. None of this is confirmed by Gooseworks or anybody else who works on the show. This is just my theory and my speculation. So obviously we're starting with the main character, Pomni, and my theory is that she is somebody who was paid to test out the VR headset. We know it's a headset because in episode 1 she's pulling her face and saying, how can I get this headset off? So we know they all got there through some type of headset. And I'm gonna talk more about the headset thing when we get to Gangle. We know there's a company called Cain and Abel who created the digital circus, and they created the computer thing that we see at the end of episode 1. So I'm wondering if they paid like people to test out their virtual reality, and that's how they all got stuck in the circus, or were some of those people like people who already worked for the company. Next character I want to talk about is Ragatha, and I feel like with Ragatha, she is like a people pleaser type character, and she hides a lot of her true emotions. I feel like that's gonna come into play next episode because Gooseworks has already confirmed that episode 5 is gonna center around Ragatha in a tweet. So, but she also says something really interesting in episode 4. I'm gonna just play the clip right now.
Wait! I can do it! I just gotta grab the horseradish sauce. Horseradish sauce. I miss my horse.
Okay, let's just ignore her being high off her ass. That shit was funny. But in her past life, Ragatha was a horse girl. Okay, so no, I'm kidding. Obviously, in episode 4, Ragatha says that she misses her horses, and a lot of people have theorized that she was like a farmer or lived on a farm in her past life. And which brings me back to my theory of them being just regular people who were paid to put on the headsets. Okay, so now I want to move on to Gangle, and this is probably the character that I'm going to have the most to say about, because we learn a lot about her past life in episode 4, and I really loved episode 4, and I'm excited to... It seems like Gangle is dealing with a lot of depression, and is trying really hard to mask that depression, which is clearly showed a lot in episode 4 in these clips.
I don't want a career in fast food. I want to be a comic artist and eventually launch my own manga-inspired webcomic. And it's cool to have dreams, but you also need to remember that they're completely unrealistic, and you need to stop trying.
Or are we the broken one? Is this shift really on for? 6 hours? 8? 24? A week? A year? Does time even move in here? Will we ever go home? Will we ever achieve our dreams?
So in the beginning of episode 4, Gangle mentions that she already worked as a shift leader at one point in her past life. So they do have some type of memories over their past and their lives, as we've seen with Kinger in episode 3. So there's that, and then she talks about wanting to start a web comic, and her dreams are unrealistic. So I wonder if they brought like their mental issues or anything to the circus. I'm gonna elaborate more on that when we get to Zooble, but basically what I mean is like we are all aware that these characters have like some type of like, they all have issues. So I wonder if they brought those issues with them to the circus. So in episode 3, we kind of learned that Zooble has some type of like body dysmorphia, and that's what I mean by issues. Like, did she have body dysmorphia before coming to the circus or after? So that's like my main question. And I feel like this is going to be a crazy kind of outlandish theory, but I think Zooble was like a model or something in her past life, or like something to do with like the fashion or beauty industry, because I feel like that would make sense that she has a body dysmorphia. And Zubu is a really interesting character to me. She's someone I want to learn more. They are somebody I really want to learn more about because they're the only character that does not like going on Kane's adventures. They're the only character who knows about like the truth of Kane. She says something in episode 4. In episode 4, they say to Jax that the only thing holding Kane back is the fact that he likes them so much. And I'm really interested to see how Zubu knows that. So now I want to talk about Kinger, and Kinger is one of my favorite characters at this point, and we learn a lot. I've noticed a lot about him after rewatching episodes 1, 2, and 3 about him and his wife. And there is a line that sticks out to me specifically that he says in episode 3.
7 years of computer science for this, huh? Gives off the virtual sensation of eating without any of the nutritional benefits.
Sheesh, lay off it. Since when are you an expert on the digital world?
Expert on the what?
So Kinger mentions that he did 7 years of computer science, and his wife was an entomologist in episode 3. An entomologist is somebody who works with bugs, which explains why Kinger was obsessed with his insect collection in episode 1. But also, my theory is that Kinger helped design the circus, and he was asked to put on a headset, and he took his wife with him. And I think he feels like a lot of guilt towards the fact that his wife abstracted, and I think that's what's going to ultimately lead him to going crazy and abstracting. So Jax is a kind of a hard character to talk about because we don't know much about him. Not much has been said about his past life. There is a theory though that he is an NPC, which honestly could maybe be right. So there's a scene in I want to say episode 2 after Kane like kills Gummy Goo, where he's like, if I start mixing up a human with an NPC, something bad can happen.
NPCs, but if I start losing track of who's a human and who's an NPC, who knows what could happen?
I feel like that scene kind of sheds light on the theory that Jax could be a secret NPC. Maybe. Because we don't really know much about Jax's past life. Maybe we'll learn in episode 6 because there was a tweet about Gooseworks kind of saying like which character that each episode is going to be about. Episode 3 was obviously Kinger and Zubo. Episode 4 was about Gangle, and it's already been confirmed that episode 5 is going to be about Ragatha, and episode 6 is going to be about Jax. So maybe we'll learn more about his past life in episode 6. Maybe. So Kane is obviously an AI, but the name of the company behind the Digital Circus is called Cain and Abel. And that brings me to my biggest question: who is Abel, or what is Abel? Is he also an AI? Is he just a human? Is Cain a human? It's kind of obvious that he's an AI, but maybe he's like the CEO of the company who got trapped in the circus. I feel like that's a good possibility, but he could also just be an AI. Obviously, Cain and Abel is based off a Bible story, and there is a lot of biblical references in the show, especially with this scene that looks a lot similar to the Last Supper. I'm not really like religious or Christian, so I can't really like talk about any of that, but I think that was an interesting observation from several fans. I wonder if we'll see a more like evil side of Cain, especially after what Zubo said in episode 4, and that scene in episode 1 where they go into Cosmo's room and he has the words "run" all over his walls, and there's a picture of him, Cosmo, running from I'm talking about this scene where we see the word "exit" written all over Cosmo's wall, and we see a picture of Cosmo running from like a giant Cain. And I'm wondering, what did Cain do to him, and was Cain responsible for Cosmo abstracting? And if Cain was responsible for Cosmo's abstraction, could he also be responsible for Kinger's wife Queenie's? I think that's another question I have. I want to learn more about both Queenie and Cosmo. I want to know what got Queenie to the point of abstraction. But I think Cain is just AI. Maybe he's being controlled by Abel. That's another theory that I've seen. maybe Abel is a human and Cain is just AI. Anyways, that's all I have to talk about today for Digital Circus. Let me know down below in the comments your theories and your speculation. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow all of my socials, and don't forget to live, laugh, and serve cut.
You walk away, you don't hear me say